Ayo, Zahn is on, and here to watch Starslop trademark review Todd edition trademark by SsethTzeentach. So we are back with another Seth video to continue the trend of dipping back into some of the YouTubers that I had already reacted to. I believe now is Seth's turn. I'm not doing them in any particular order, I'm just kind of doing them based on how I feel. Seth has a lot of videos, and I know that I have been recommended quite a bit. And this goes for pretty much every reaction that I had done up until this point. If nothing else, I will at least try to get to them. And if it never sees the light of day, then, well, you know what happened. But either way, I am very curious to see what Seth has to say about this wonderful game by our Lord and Savior Todd Howard. I know that everyone had wonderful things to say about it, so let's see what Seth had to say. So, without further ado, let's get to it.
Hey, Star Sisters, Seth here.
Oh boy,
I'll tell
the
you
Star
a tidbit
Sisters.
of the future. In the future, white boys can finally jump with the help of
Oh
booster
boy.
packs and of course, low gravity. Humanity has spread across the stars in their multitude.
So that just means that in reality, white men still can't jump, but they can at least rely on these specific tools and circumstances to be able to at least replicate it.
With the help of a booster pack and of course, low gravity. Humanity has spread across the stars in their multitudes of diverse races and cultures.
Oh yay! We love having that diversity. Oh, look at that. This post was black checked by real American brothers. No lie here. Bro. Yeah.
And cultures. The Red Guard, the Sons of Yakub, Hispanics, honorary Aryans, and the Fingolian Chindonesians now populate the vast
Chindonesians.
expanse of space. Naturally, we never did find a solution for automation. So in the future, the only career paths are space pirate with a voice filter, or religious extremist. Parent.
What wonderful choices when it comes to being dwellers in the deep reaches of space.
Space pirate with a voice filter, or religious extremist. Parents send children away with teary eyes, knowing full well their offspring will grow up to become murderous bandits before putting on their own helmets and shooting up the 7-Eleven. PS5 still has no games. That vision is already here, Star Sisters, because the best game ever made, no, the best game that will ever be made is already out, and there's no competition. Baldur's Gate? More like 3-hour unskippable gay sex scene. Starfield,
what?
A masterpiece where I can live out my fantasy of being a Bangladeshi man with 8 eyes. Starfield,
that's beautiful.
Here for their food models alone. Just look at the grease on that sausage.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, look at that grease. Wait, is that a cube apple? Apple?
The grease on that sausage. That's the difference ray tracing makes in a game like this, which runs buttery smooth on my 4090, pushing a blazingly fast 17 frames a second. I'm quite fine with this since, according to the science, the human eye can only see 24 frames a second. Sometimes my saves get corrupted and I lose progress. But in my deep unhappiness, I realize I get to have those unforgettable experiences all over again.
What just happened?
I get to have those unforgettable experiences.
What? Wait, it was dead. Why did you get launched or did you die?
Have those unforgettable experiences
What?
all over again. We must imagine that we are Sisyphus, pushing the boulder forever uphill.
What? Is that like a rock shark in the elevator? What is that?
For in the struggle, we find meaning. Ask not what Todd Howard can do for you, but instead,
I must go, my planet needs me.
You can do for Todd Howard.
So much beached fishes. I have to presume they are fishes. They're like alien fish. Why are they beached up?
A good game has memorable characters, but an amazing game is one where you don't remember a single person at all. Starfield is to roleplay.
Oh God, what is happening?
Dementia is to the elderly. The strongest skill in this game, following tradition, is Persuasion, which lets you walk away from the last fight by saying, "What if we don't?" This system works by stringing random sentences together with a cadence of a crackhead until the execute gets visibly uncomfortable and leaves. Shameless.
Bro, that's just talking to me on a normal day.
Steal. The true purpose of Persuasion, however, is to gaslight companions. Sarah.
What did you think was gonna happen? Look at that thing. You just pimp slapped a goddamn alien dinosaur and you thought that you wouldn't find out? Look at that.
Strongly opposed to the harm of innocent people. So, appropriately, in the style of a cartel execution, I ventilate someone's cranium. She screams at me.
What the hell is the matter with you?
I persuade her that I'm sorry and I'm going to do better.
I'm not sure there's anything you can say at this point. As strange as that sounds, I suppose that's possible.
So easy to convince.
Look, I realize things out here can be rough, so I'm going to let this go. For now.
And
for now.
I'll do it again.
I accept who you are. I'm just not sure I can travel with you on this path you've chosen.
This is, single-handedly, the most entertaining thing in this game.
Actually, though, you could just do the most heinous. Wait, is there an auto persuade button?
Just try to be more careful in the future. Otherwise, you'll find yourself traveling alone. I am not going to help you murder you and I. Hello.
Oh, well. So much for that. You ain't going nowhere, bitch.
Second most entertaining thing in this game is joining the pirate faction as a double agent.
Which pirate faction? From what you've told me, there are like 2 different pirate factions here.
And in the process, becoming a triple agent. I have chosen to join the war on terror, on the side of terror.
Oh God, but which side of the terror are you fighting for?
Play entire missions without shooting a single shot, because guess what? Half the entire game is now friendly to me. I watch caravans get lit up with the same
depending on the game, having like half of the world be friendly to you could either be the most entertaining or like interesting thing, or it could be the most boring thing in the world.
Pressed as a youth in the projects witnessing a drive-by. The streets give and the streets take. Story. I've had paranoid hallucinations with more coherence than the plot of this game. Spoiler.
Lockpick animation broke.
Paranoid hallucinations with more coherence than the plot of this game. Spoiler. It's Skyrim in space. You must become...
But Skyrim was better.
Than the plot of this game. Spoiler, it's Skyrim in space. You must become Starborn to use the magic
Starborn?
to kill.
Wow, it really is just Skyrim in space. Starborn, Dragonborn.
Parthenax, who in this case is other Starborn from other universes that you must defeat to go to another universe and start New Game Plus. Multiverse theory is appealing to fans of Rick and Morty because it implies the existence of a dimension where you haven't been molested. There's copium online that there's differences between you.
What is happening? What is all this? What does this actually say? New Game Plus variations, changes to the universe. Spoilers for ending of the game and New Game Plus. Don't read further unless you want to. I'm not playing this game, bro. So for those who don't know, NG Plus is more than saying... This is definitely not making it to the final video, that's for sure.
Universes, and no run is the same. Yes, one place in the game changes. The emissary is always whoever dies in your current run, and there's a universe where Sarah is a potted plant. Objectively,
wait, seriously?
Universe because she doesn't talk. Yet, I heard some people even romanced this creature. If you find such dialogue,
this creature. I mean, given the interactions that I've seen with this person, I somehow believe it.
She doesn't talk. Yet, I heard some people even romanced this creature. If you find such dialogue captivating, I recommend intimacy with a drywall. My
Damn.
Part of the story was attending a funeral, only to interrupt it by starting a firefight. Almost everyone involved is an essential NPC, so the shootout will never end. When we have an infinite amount of universes, that means we have no consequences. Anything we do can be undone by walking through a portal. So why can't we kill essential NPCs? Why even have the setting if you're not going to make use of it?
I mean, At that point, it would at least make it a little more unique. Like, from how I'm understanding it, it seems like you quite literally have a reset button that you could just walk to. So, like, at that point, why don't you just allow essential NPCs to be killed, and then you just walk over to the portal and you just go into a different timeline, and everything's all good again.
Aggravates me to no end because everyone I want to shoot is a higher entity made of light. For example, there's a side quest where a 200-year-old ship from Earth, developed before the invention of a grav drive, has reached the planet resort of Paradiso. You negotiate on their behalf and are given 3 options. 1. Send every colonist to work as an indentured slave for the corporation. 2. Pay out of pocket for a grav drive and send them to bother someone else. Or 3. Eliminate the last practicing Jew in the universe.
Yeah?
I'm not making this up. There's a colonist on board who's preserved Hebrew rabbinical teachings. And the third option is the corporation asking you to destroy the ship. What the Austrian painter started, Todd will...
Oh my. Oh my, let's not go there, yeah?
This quest design, you present me with 3 terrible options, and my immediate response is to shoot up the board of directors. But I can't, because I'm not allowed to. Because
I was about to say, very rational response, but I mean, if you're not able to, then I mean, damn, that's unfortunate.
the talent in this company has dried up and left a long time ago. But it doesn't matter because Bethesda spits out a game every few years for their target audience.
What the?
What?
What happened? She just keeps on climbing down while you're trying to talk to her.
Spits out a game every few years for their target audience. Dads. I get it. You have 2 kids, you're in your mid-30s, and you have time for exactly 3 games a year. I don't judge.
Oh, bro, I'm not even a dad and I'm living that life right now, bro.
I don't judge. We're all busy. But this game
Yeah,
is
that's just facts,
the people
though.
You're arguing with don't have that much time or investment. They see a crater, they soy pog, and then they leave. Somebody defends this game, don't give them a hard time. They have it hard enough already between beating their spouse and their children, and they still say man can't multitask.
Bruh, that is crazy.
Gameplay. This game features challenging and intriguing puzzles such as
Challenging.
into the shaped hole and
What happened?
intriguing puzzles such as fit the shape into the shaped hole and
Yo, the bounce was crazy.
replace the battery. Considering the majority
Oh,
of Xbox
my
players
favorite.
have never replaced a smoke alarm, this is a novel concept, as it requires higher abstraction to deduce that the ubiquitous chirp in the hallway is in some way quantum connected to the set of Duracell batteries you hold in your hand.
I feel targeted. Bro, I feel called out. No, stop.
Clearly, I didn't pay enough attention during character creation, as once I finished the game, I was very surprised to hear my character's voice.
You made it.
What the,
I hope you're enjoying the view.
what happened? This just imagine you walk up to a clone of yourself. They speak. You look like this Bangladeshi man, and then you just sound like that.
Not like I missed anything. All the perks are garbage. Wanted is one of 2 perks that actually does anything, because you get bounty hunters chasing you. The other, kid stuff, which gives Americans the experience of 2 loving parents that aren't divorced. For the nation holding the world record in broken homes, a
Damn, that's tough.
stable family is science fiction. I spent a bunch of time
Apparently, it is but a pipe dream having a normal, loving family that is together and that they love you and that they love each other.
modding guns, only to find out that guns don't scale whatsoever. Attachments on
Oh, that's
low-level weapons
fun.
are a waste of time. Let me tell you how you're actually supposed to do it. You fly into a level 75 zone, but instead of being insta-killed, you cast Creator's Piece, which makes enemies drop their guns. You bring them back, tweak them on a workbench, and now you no longer have to complain about bullet sponges. Personally,
I mean, hey, that would actually be some shit that I would do.
enjoyed shipbuilding. Yes, I'm aware of a hollow ship exploit, but I didn't really need it, because all I ever do is one-shot the engine with electromagnetic and board their ship, after which I disarm them with Creator's Piece and individually fistfight the entire crew. It's really fun, and if I can't parallel self, I can roll
Square up! We will fight man to man. Fisticuffs!
play as if we're having a civil dispute at the Bangladeshi border. Companions don't use ammunition, which is convenient because for some reason this game lets you craft everything except ammunition, some of which is highly specific and not sold by most vendors. In contrast,
that's
crafting
annoying.
ingredients are sold by the dozen, trivializing their collection and destroying any incentive you had to find them yourself.
That kind of sucks for me, but it does enable my laziness, though.
So, I thought it would be interesting to try and make my outposts self-sufficient, using only the resources I could find. It took me 2 full days before I found a planetary source of sealant. For reference, this is a common organic ingredient necessary for most structures.
Common?
Find it middle of nowhere on a toxic biome. I needed to reach the bottom of a science tree and have free tiers into planetary habitation before I could make planetary habitation.
Yeah. So for me to get this common material that's used to do this very specific thing, I have to do that specific thing enough to be able to sustain myself in this planet so that way I can get the common material. Huh? What is this game?
So, in case you're ever tempted to do what I did, don't. I remember once I saw a Live Leaks video of some Chinese farmers throwing pigs into
oh god, Live Leak.
An open pit and setting them on fire with kerosene. Starfield allows you to not only recreate this video, but use it for infinite experience. What I did was some exploits. I love me some exploits. Well, only when it's fun. It's either like exploits or glitches and whatnot that makes the game entertaining. I can't think of any exploits off the top of my head that I would indulge in. And I would also indulge in glitches if it was entertaining. I mean, just for glitches, the first thing that comes to my mind is that freaking swing set in GTA 4. Set up several alien breeding facilities and boxed them in. Then, I built a macro script to throw incendiary grenades at...
Aw, bro, you set a macro? Nah, that's crazy.
Set intervals, firebombing all the cows, waiting for them to respawn, only to firebomb them again. I can leave my desk and come back several levels higher.
Now see, that's the type of exploit that I probably would not be fond of. I kind of like to at least be a little bit more involved with the exploits that I use.
Generally, however, Outpost development is a hellish experience, and that's because the game has no system to track how much you need and what you need.
Aw, that's so annoying. Because I remember, like, even with games that do have it, I still find myself, like, needing to, like, make, like, an actual physical list. I'd either have to grab, like, a notebook and write it down, or I'd have to grab my phone, pull up the notes app, and then just type it all there. Ah, that's so annoying.
Your best bet for memorizing a recipe is using pen and paper.
Exactly. That part. Right there. Also, what is this?
What the hell, boy?
What is that?
The alternative to that is jumping across load screens, walking to the vendor, buying what you assume is enough, returning to the outpost, only to find out you're missing like 2 adhesive.
Bruh.
You need to go all the way back. This game.
Oh, that's the worst. I feel such irrational anger whenever that happens. And let me tell you, that happens way more often in games than I would like to admit.
You're missing like 2 adhesive and need to go all the way back. This game is an exercise in how many load screens can you tolerate before choosing to end it all. No.
Oh, bro. I've heard so much about the load screens.
Wonder nobody ever got that Steam refund. We spent 2 whole hours docking and undocking. There's a lot of these transitional animations, and it's not that they're painfully goddamn slow, it's that I can't skip them.
Yeah, I feel like the issue could be expedited at least a little bit if you had the option to skip it.
I understand that this is a small indie company and maybe...
yes, Bethesda, the small indie company.
Resources are stretched thin between the...
How much?
Stretched...
Oh my god, bro.
Estimated budget 200 to 400 million US? Bruh.
Thin between the award-winning dialogue and the...
Did her hand just clip through the table?
Are stretched thin between the award-winning dialogue and the...
Sleeps over the cup too.
NPCs that hit you with that fluoride stare. But
Fluoride stare?
It's so simple and obvious, you can't help but ask, what's going on at Bethesda? Despite having no access to the construction set, the modding community has managed to fix many of the issues.
Oh, I'm sure they have. I never had intentions to play this game, and even as I'm watching this video, I'm still not convinced. And that's even assuming that Seth was even trying to convince me in the first place.
However, even if they do release the toolset 6 months down the line, I don't really trust this company to not screw me over. Remember,
Bruh.
the only reason we don't have paid mods is because of pushback. Believe me, they'll try again.
Yeah, they probably will. I have not kept track of anything that Bethesda has done since Starfield. I feel like around the time even Starfield got announced, I just kind of stopped paying attention to gaming stuff that's happening.
The only potential redemption of this game is the release of a full construction set, because the only way the fans could save this game is to wipe it clean and make something else. Look,
Yeah.
I figured it out. I know why I'm so angry. I'm not angry at the game. It's not even that bad. I'm angry because I paid $100 for it.
That's probably the worst part about this whole thing. Like, the game could be fine, but the amount that you pay for clearly is not indicative of the experience that you received.
The king of a chess club has done it again. Each
Who's laughing now? Oh, even to this day, still such a god tier interview.
I tell myself, no, not this time. But I already know Todd's gonna tell me lies. Tell me sweet little lies. And each time, I listen. I understand.
That's the unfortunate part. You could be fully aware of everything. The bullshit coming your way, the lies that are being whispered in your ear, but you're still gonna listen. I feel like recently there's been quite a lot of pushback from Bethesda over plenty of things. I wouldn't know. I don't keep track of that stuff. But I mean, that's just what I've been hearing.
And I've said some polarizing things, but in truth, I just needed a video because I signed a lot of contracts while drunk. So don't take anything I say seriously. It's all bait. But what if it isn't?
Fair enough.
What if it's actually my unfiltered dogshit opinion? As always, more content to come because I'm legally obligated. A warm
What's that?
many members
That looked way more entertaining than whatever happened in freaking Starfield.
of the Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
Oh, what a lovely way to end after basically ripping into this game. Yeah, no, this was pretty much what I had expected, basically. Yeah, the sentiment was pretty much similar. Oh boy. Starfield. It's old news. It's old news now, but it doesn't hurt to kind of take a peek into the past, the not so distant past, and just see what happened. Like, and besides, this was during an era where I wasn't even really paying attention to games, so for me, it's not a bad thing for me to peep into these not so distant past moments in gaming. But yeah, that was Seth's review of Starfield, or as he calls Starslop, trademark. But yeah, like I said, sentiments were pretty much exactly what I'd expected. But as always, he just provided it in a very entertaining way. Bro, and the nonsense that was happening. It's like standard Bethesda like nonsense at this point. Like, you just kind of come to expect it. It's not a good thing by any means, but it's just, when you see it happen, it's just, you can't help but think, of course, the standard Bethesda quality. But yeah, I think that's all there is that I have to say about this, so I will see you in the next video, whenever that is, but until then, bye.